So, hello coders, welcome to the complete Python series in which we will be learning Python from scratch. And when you will be completing this course, you will be, able to do the artificial intelligence. You can learn, and you can learn machine learning, you can learn data science, you can try in all these domains. And also you can say that if you will be if you want to go for web development, then you can go for that. If you want to go for the Django framework, then you can also go for that. So Python will be really helpful in all this. Okay, then I will tell you that at the beginning of this course, if you do not know even to write a single line of code, then I can assure you that by the end of this course, you will be able to, become a really good programmer in Python. And this knowledge you can use to learn much more, Django and other skills so that you can build up your, you can improve your coding skills with that. All right, guys. And also it will be, we will be doing it step by step. Okay, guys. So like in the first step you will be learning few concepts, in the second step you will be learning few more concepts, and that is how lesson by lesson we will be learning complete Python, and we will be getting mastery on this skill. All right, guys. So I hope this will be really helpful for you as well. So yeah. So firstly, this is our lesson one of our complete Python course. And in this course, I will tell you that you will be, we will be learning very basics of Python. I will be telling you how you can install the Python. Okay. And then I will be telling you how you can install VS Code in your computers. And after that, I will be telling you that how you can basically take the inputs and outputs in the Python. And also we will be writing our first Python program. And then we will be learning more about, you can say, variables. Then we will be learning about data types. And that's all we will be covering in our first lesson. And yeah, so, and I also want that after the first lesson should be completed, I also want that you all should be giving me a reply on the message to tell me that you have run your first Python program successfully. All right, guys. So let us move to our first thing, that is installation of the Python program. Friends, now let me just discuss with you how you can install Python in your PC. All right. That comes, that is, you can say that this is the python.org. Okay, guys. So you will be coming to this website, and then you will be clicking on the downloads, and then you click on install Python manager. All right, guys. So then you will be installing the Python like that. Okay. So it is getting installed. Actually, I have already installed the Python, but still I am going to show it to you again how you can do that. All right, guys. So let me show that to you. So it is getting installed. Until then, I will show you how you can download VS Code for your PC. All right, guys. So you can write over here VS Code. Okay. So when you will write VS Code, the first link that opens, that you just need to open it. Okay, guys. And from this you will simply click on the download option over here. All right, guys. And from here then you can simply download the version for Windows. Okay, and after that your download will be started and you can start working on VS Code. But still, guys, I'm not going to download this again because I have already downloaded the VS Code on my PC. Okay, guys. So that I will be showing you, and we will be working on that code. Okay, now I will show you guys that this my Python has been installed on my PC. And from this, I'm going to do is, firstly, it will be actually it is installed. So basically I just need not to reinstall it, but then you just need to follow one or two steps, that is to install it, and then your Python will get installed. Okay, guys. So I hope you are. So I hope, my dear friends, you all have learned how we can install, the VS Code and other softwares. All right, guys. Now let me tell you, my dear friends, what is Python. Okay, guys. So Python is, I will say that Python is a simple and easy language. All right. Around all the languages in the world, Python is the most simplest and easiest language that we can learn. That means it is not like other languages, like you can say Java and C++, where the you can say syntax is little complex and you have to write lots of lines of codes. But in case of Python, you just need to write very few lines of code and then your code is ready. All right, guys. Now there comes the next point about Python, that is Python is free and open source. Okay. So there are a lot of softwares that are available on the internet. For that, basically we have to pay the price to use them. Okay, there are the charges to use those software. But in case of Python, if I will say that Python is a simply a free and a open source software. All right, guys, we can use Python whenever we want to use it, and we can download it for completely free. So that is why Python is freely available for all of us to use. All right. Python is also a high level language. High level language means that basically human beings can write it. Okay. There is a low level language that our computer system will understand. Okay. So firstly, this high level language is converted to low level language, and then the computer is able to understand it. So Python is a high level language as well. And simply the Python was simply, I can say that it was developed by Guido van Rossum. He is basically, you can say, at a very special position in Microsoft. And the Python was simply developed by this scientist. All right, Python is also portable language. That means we can use the code written in Python, and we can I can use this code on my PC, on my friend's PC, or I can use this code on the third person's PC. Or also you can say I can use it on Windows or Linux or Mac OS. I can use the code written in Python on any platform. I hope, my dear friends, this point is also crystal clear to you. All right, guys. Now, let me just take you forward. So this was all about the basics about Python. Okay. So now let me just tell you about more about, Python. All right, guys, let's move forward. So my dear friends, we have talked a lot about Python. That is, you can say that Python is a portable language. We can write the codes in Python. Yes, my dear friends, we have talked a lot about Python, but we do not know what is the code and how to write it. Yes, my dear friends, we do not know about that. So let me just tell you that how you can write your first line of code in Python. Okay, guys. So let me just tell you about that first. So how you can write your first line of code in Python. Okay, so you can say our first program in Python will look something like, you can say, print, and then it would be simply, I can say that, hello world. All right, and I'm going to run this program in front of you in VS Code, and you will be understanding how our first line of code works. All right, guys. And after you will be writing this line of code, you will be getting to know that yes, I have written it, and you will be commenting to me in the comment section, and I would like to know that have you written your first line of code. All right, guys. Now, guys, for the Python, I can say that firstly, I have to create, my dear friends, first you can say file in the Python. Okay, my dear friends. And in whatever language we write the code, we use, if we are writing the code in the text format, then we will save the file with the txt format. Yes, guys. So let us say this is the first program dot. Okay, in case of Python, we use the extension py. All right, guys. In case of Java, we use the extension Java. In case of C++, we use the extension CPP. Okay, in case of C, we use the extension C. Okay, guys. So in case of Python, we are going to use the extension .py. So here, my dear friends, I have created my first Python program. Okay, this is my first Python program. Okay, my dear friends. So now I'm going to write this simple statement to print hello world. Okay, so firstly I will write print, then in brackets, and I will be using this double commas because these are the strings, and strings are generally written with the help of this commas. Okay, guys. So I will write over here simply hello world. Okay, guys. Then before running my code, I will be firstly saving my code. Okay, so I'm going to save my code first. Okay, my dear friends. So over here, I have printed my hello world. Now by clicking on this run button, I can run my program. Okay, and you can see over here, my dear friends, what output I will be getting in this case. Okay, so I am getting hello world. That is what I have written in this code. Okay, my dear friends, so I have got this output. And congratulations to all my friends who have written their first program successfully. Write down in the comment section that how much happy you are after writing your first line of code in Python. Okay, my dear friends. So now I will be teaching you more concepts in Python as we move forward. All right, guys. So my dear friends, let me just tell you about the print program in the Python. Okay, guys. So basically, I can say that this print is, you can say, simply a function in Python. Okay, guys. This is a function in Python, and let me just write it again for you so that you can understand it more clearly. Okay, so this is, you can say, a print is the function, and inside this brackets I am writing the double quotes. Okay, guys, so this is simply, I can say that hello world. Okay, my dear friends, and this is the brackets I'm closing. Okay, so print is simply what I can say is a simple, you can say, function in Python. Okay, this is a function in Python, and whatever, then I will start the two braces, two brackets I will write over here, and after that I will write double quotes over here, and whatever I will be writing inside this double quotes, that will be simply printed on my screen. Whether I will write it like something, you can say that I will write it like this. For example, I will write it like this. You can say print, and here will be, I can say, I have left two spaces, then I wrote the word hello, and then I left two spaces, then I wrote the word world. I am drawing this dashes just to show you that I have left two spaces. In actual practice, these will not be visible to you. All right, my dear friends, so over here you will be getting the same output as it is what I have written in this double quotes. Okay, my dear friends, so that is how the print statement works. It prints as it is, whatever is written in this double brackets. All right, guys, and it is a function in Python. It is a predefined function in Python. All right, that means, okay, so this we will be, learning about functions in the further classes. Okay, for now you just need to remember that this print is simply the function in Python which help us to print whatever we have written in this brackets. Okay, my dear friends, now let me just tell you more examples about the print. Okay, for example, I will write over here print, and then I will write over here Cheshta Handa. Okay, my dear friends, so let me just run it. So in this case, I will be getting, my code is running actually. Yeah, so you can see in the output, one is my hello world which I got, and the second thing I got the word Cheksha Handa. I hope, my dear friends, this was also crystal clear to you all. Okay, now let me write down another print statement. So the another print statement could be, you can say that I am a coder. All right, guys. Now let me again run. So the Python will run, one by one. It reads line by line. Firstly, it will read the first line. Okay, so that is why at the first, hello world is printed. Okay, guys. Then it will read the second line. In the second line, you can say the Cheshta Handa word is printed. Then it will read the third line. In the third line, I am a coder word is line is read, and that is printed. So that is why it is written over here, I am a coder. Now I hope, guys, I hope, my dear friends, this was, I hope coders, it was pretty much clear to all of you. All right, so my dear friends, let me just explain to you what we are doing in this case. Okay, So basically in this case, what I have done is I have, simply written my code. Okay, my dear friends. So basically in this case, what I am doing is basically this is my code, and this is my code which is written in simple Python. Okay, my dear friends. And I am giving simply, you can say, input to my code, and then I am getting output to my code. Okay, my dear friends. Then I'm getting output to my code. So what input I am giving to my code is, you can say, simply the statement which I am writing of, that is the, you can say, print, and here is the word hello world. Okay, my dear friends. And the output which I am getting in this case is simply, you can say, that the hello world I am getting as the output that is getting printed on the screen. Okay, so this is the basic thing that you have learned about Python today. And I will tell you another example. For example, you can say that this is my search engine. Okay, my dear friends. And this search engine, you can say over here, that is written the word like, you can say, latest news. Okay, my dear friends. So in the case of latest news, when you write this word latest news on the search engine, that simply gets, you can say, input, that we are giving input to the basically Google, and then it will return a big, you can say, web page in which a lot of news and a lot of things are written over here, and that is basically what we are getting is the output over code. All right, my dear friends, and that is how the code works. So in the further lectures, we will be learning a lot more about this, the taking inputs and outputs, lot more things about Python we will be learning. But yes, we have successfully covered our basic thing in Python. We have given this input and got this output, and we have run our very basic and first program in Python. All right, coders, so stay tuned for. So now, my dear friends, let me just discuss with you all about the character set in Python. All right, my dear friends. So what is a character set in Python? Just like, you can say, any other language we use, we are, allowed some things. For example, in Hindi, we can write from EU. We can write these specific words. Okay, in English, we can write either from capital A to Z, or we can write from, you can say, small a to small z. Rest, we cannot use any other thing. In case of, you can say, mathematics, we can only use the letters from 0 to 9, or we can use special symbol. Yes, my dear friends. So every language has its own specific set of rules. So just the same way, the Python is also having some set of rules. Okay, and that we have to follow. And apart from that, other from that, the specified letters, we cannot use any other letter in case of Python. Okay, my dear friends. So let me just tell you about that first. So first is the letters. Okay, my dear friends. So letters in Python, you can use either, you can say, from capital A to Z, or you can say small a to small z. There's no other letter you can use. In Python, the digits are simply, you can say, either from 0 to 9. Apart from that, you cannot use any other digits. Okay, my dear friends, you can only use 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All these you can use. And also, if I will say letters, then you can use only letters, like you can say A, B, C, D, then E, F, then G, H, I, J, K, L. Like that you can use. All right, my dear friends. Then the special symbols are simply, you can say, only these are allowed. Basically, you can say minus, plus, multiply, divide, or you can say the double line, or you can use double star as well. So all these symbols you can use and to perform the various operations in Python. Okay, white spaces are allowed in Python. That is, you can leave a space. Blank spaces are allowed. Tab you can use. Then there is a carriage return, and this new line command works like, you can say, slash n. Then you can also use the form feed command as well. Other characters in Python, other characters, like you can say, Python can process all the ASCII characters, that I will be showing you this chart soon. And also you can use the Unicode characters in Python as well. I hope, my dear friends, everything is clear to you. Apart from that, you can say, parts of data or literals that you can also use in Python. So I hope, my dear friends, this was also quite informative to you. You can learn all these sets, and you can also, you don't need to learn all this. Basically, if you will be doing the programming in Python language, you will be gradually remembering all these basically character set of the Python, and you just need not to cram it. Okay, with practice you will be definitely learning it, and might be, by the end of this course you will be definitely able to complete it. All right, my dear friends, now let's just move forward. Yeah, so my dear friends, basically you can say whatever the keys you will find on your keyboard, all the keys that you are going to find on your keyboard, basically they all are present in Python. Okay, my dear friends, all of these keys are basically present in Python, and that is why Python is said to be very close to English language. Okay, and very close to English language. And also, my dear friends, if you will be, getting to know about the code, if you will read the code written in Python, that will be, also very much similar to very simple English and very easy to understand code. Okay, my dear friends, so that is why you can say this is quite simple thing. All right, my dear friends, now let us just move forward. Okay, so now, my dear friends, let me just tell you how you can write the codes, lines of codes in Python. Okay, my dear friends. So, for example, I'm writing a print statement, that is, you can say, my name is Cheshta. All right, my dear friends. And the next thing I will say over here, simply I can say, I am 23 years old. Okay, my dear friends, and if I will run this program, then I will get the two lines of output. Okay, so my name is Cheshta and I am 23 years old. So the first line will come at first, then in the next line my next output will be printed. So if I will do one thing, I will copy this code and I will basically, write these two lines in a single line. Okay, I will write it like by writing the comma. Then I will write my second line, that is, I am 23 years old. Okay, my dear friends. So let me just write it like this. Okay, so if I will write it like this simply, and if I will run my code now, then you can see that both of my lines are printed in a single line. Okay, my dear friends, so both of these lines are printed in a single line. Okay, so that simply shows that if I want to write my two lines in the form of single line, then I will simply separate it with a comma. Okay, my dear friends. So if I will simply separate it with a comma, then I can write these basically two lines in a single line. I hope, my dear friends, this point was also crystal clear to you. Now let's just move forward. So now, my dear friends, let me just tell you how you can take the number inputs in Python. Okay, my dear friends. So for example, I can say that this is the print and this is print 23. Okay, and if I will run it, I will get the output as 23 outside. Okay, now let me just give you another program, that is, you can say print simply I can say 34. So then you can say firstly 23 would be printed, then I will get 34 printed. Okay, my dear friends. And also, I can also add and subtract the numbers and then print the output. For example, I will write here 34 minus 98. So in my first line 23 will be printed, and then in the second line 34 minus 98, that is minus 64, will be printed. Okay, my dear friends, let me just write one more line, and I'm going to add two numbers, that is 45 plus 11. Okay, my dear friends, so let us see the output which we'll be getting. Yeah, so it is 23 and minus 64 and 56. Okay, guys, so I hope you have understood it really well. So let's just, yeah, so my dear friends, let us continue with our lecture. That is, you can say, variables in Python. So now let me tell you, my dear friends, about, I can say that, a variable. Okay, my dear friends. So a variable is simply, I can say that, is the name given to a memory location in Python. Okay, let me just explain it to you with the help of an example. So for example, we might have seen this rectangle in our, when we were, when we were in grade 7th or 8th, we have studied about it. Okay. So how to find the perimeter of a rectangle? So let's say this side is having A and this side is having B. Okay, my dear friends. So in this case, I can simply say that this perimeter of the rectangle is simply equivalent to 2 multiplied by A plus B. Okay, my dear friends. Similarly, we have also studied about the square. Yes, so for example, this is a square and it is, again, it is having a side A. It is also having a side A. So in this case also, I can say that the perimeter is simply given by, you can say, 4 multiplied by a. So this is another parameter. Okay, my dear friends. So in this case, I can say that if I will change this values of a and b, I can put in this formula and I can find the perimeter of any of the rectangle. Okay, and similarly over here, for example, my square is having side, you can say 1. Then I will use the 4 multiplied by 1, which will be 4 centimeter will be the perimeter. Okay. If I will do it, you can say if the square is having side 2, then I will be doing, you can say 4 multiplied by 2, which is, you can say 8 centimeter will be the perimeter. Okay, my dear friends. So that is how I can find the perimeter. So in this case, I can say that if I am having a square and I have to find the perimeter, then I have to simply change the values of a depending on the different size of the square. So here my a becomes a variable. So a variable is something, but you can say whose value can vary. Okay, whose value can vary, that is simply known as a variable. So I hope, my dear friend, this point is also crystal clear to you. For example, in case of this parameter formula, there are two variables a and b. Okay, my dear friends, so the variables are a and b. By changing the values of a and b, we can find the different parameters of rectangle. So I hope, my dear friends, this was crystal clear to you. For example, this is the name and I have written the variable as Cheshta. Then there is age, then I have written 23, then the price, then I have written 45. All right, my dear friends, now let's just move forward. Yeah, so my dear friends, let me just tell you about our memory. Okay, so variables are simply stored in the memory. So to imagine memory, you can simply imagine it as a big plot you are having, and then you take the small piece of the plot and you build a house over that plot. So that is simply the memory. So whenever you assign a variable to that plot, for example, I have assigned it the variable as name. Okay, in this variable, simply you can say Cheshta will be stored. My name would be stored in this variable. Okay. Then you can say if you want to change the value of this variable, then you can reassign it or you can change this name to, you can say, Reena. All right. Then you can change the names of this variable. I hope this point is also crystal clear to you. Then there is a variable name age. Okay. I can change this age 23 to, you can say, 24. Then I will change it to 25. Okay, then I can change these values of these variables. Okay, and then I can store this variable at this memory location, which is the age simply. Okay, my dear friends, so this will be, let's say, 24. Okay, guys. Then there comes the price. Okay, simply price I will also be storing in this. Okay, so let us say that over here goes, you can say the word price over here. Okay, so the price I will be storing in this case, and that would be, you can say, simply 45, or I can change the values. Okay, so that is how I store my variables in various memory location. I hope, my dear friends, it was also crystal clear to you. Let me just write down the simple code to how you can, give input to the variables and how you can run the output. Okay, so firstly, let me just declare a variable named name, and to that I'm giving the value, let's say, Cheshta Handa. After that, I'm going to write the age variable, and in that I will be giving it the value of 25. Okay, then I'm writing the price variable, and to that I'm giving the value of 45. Okay, my dear friends, then how will I be printing my variables? I will simply write over here print, and then I will write name. Okay, my dear friends, and then I will write over here print, and I will write over here age. Okay, then I will write simply print over here, then I will be, printing my price. Okay, I will write print over here, price. I will write price over here. Okay, my dear friends, now I'm going to run this code. Firstly, you just need to save it. Yeah, so I have basically taken firstly the inputs of my variables, then stored it in the memory location. Then I will, when I am running this print function, that simply retrieves that code from the memory location. So let me just say, so in this case, what is happening? Firstly, I am, declaring the variable. Let's say the name is Cheshta, okay, and that is getting stored in this memory location. This is now stored. Now, when I will write the print function and then I will write, the name of the variable, that name is basically getting cold. The name is getting cold, and in that name, whatever is stored in the memory location, that will be getting printed, and that is getting printed. For example, let's say the name Cheshta. So I hope, my dear friends, this point is also crystal clear to all of you. Okay, guys. So that is how it simply works. Okay, and all these variables are getting printed. Now we can, assign two or more variables the same memory location. For example, it is age 2 and I will be making it equal to age. Now this age 2 will have the same value as my age. Okay. So basically these two different names will be pointing to the same, you can say, memory location. So let me just tell you about that. For example, let us say this memory location, I have stored my age to be, you can say this age is pointing to this memory location, that is 23. When I will write age 2 is equals to age, so in that case what I can simply say is my age 2 is a new variable which is declared, and that is also pointing to the same memory location. So that is why now in this case when I'm going to print this age 2, I will write over here print, simply you can say age 2. So in this case my age 2 will be printed. Okay guys, so let's just see that. So yeah, so let me just write over here age first. Okay, so then run it. Yeah, so you can see there first A24 is printed, then Handa Cheshta is printed, Cheshta Handa that got printed, then 24, then 45 got printed. So that is how, my dear friends, I can say that this age basically, you know, age 2 is also pointing to the same value and age is also pointing to the same value. So I hope you have understood the concept of variables really well.